A new priority on building affordable homes. A new priority on building affordable homes.
How secure is your position?
Ruth Kelly under pressure to explain why an unknown number of sex offenders are working use.
We've been investing in bringing social homes up to scratch. I believe over 1 million homes have been refurbished and brought up to scratch since 1997. But it's about building more social housing and also, critically, more affordable private homes.
If it has been fundamental for the last 2 years, how come then that since you came to power, the number of, I suppose you might call them social homes, that is to say council and housing association homes, has fallen by half?
Well, you're absolutely right. The number of social homes has been on a long-term downward trend, although it is starting to turn around.
But you tell me it's been a priority.
Over the next few years, 30,000 social homes will be built every year. Labour government, our priority, rightly, I think, was to redo and refurbish the stock of homes that already exist, many of which were completely inadequate, that people were living in.
What we're left with is council house waiting lists of more than 1 million.
Well, there are ways. We've refurbished now over 1 million social homes.
But the fact is you are building half the number that the Tories were building when you came to power.
Well, that's not right, because it is completely being reversed at the moment. And
no, that is right. You may be starting to change it now. You are making small changes, but it is right. You are building half the number of houses, council houses.
We will be building 30,000 new homes a year, but also we have a programme for refurbishing the stock of social housing, something which was in huge neglect when we came to power, putting far more emphasis, actually, on building affordable homes that young couples can buy. A new priority on building affordable homes. A new priority on building affordable homes.
Let's talk about the allocation of those homes that are available. You'll know the effect of that on the local elections. I mentioned it earlier on Thursday, the success of the BNP in certain areas. There is huge resentment, as you know, on the part of people who've lived in an area for a very long time, maybe generations, and then they see immigrant families coming in and taking houses that they believe were theirs by right. Frank Field himself says there is an issue of fairness here. Fairness, he says, demands that those who have striven longest should rise to the top of the queue and take the best housing.
But housing, I think, the issue to do with housing is far more one of the supply, both of social housing and affordable housing. There are issues about the balance that we strike between housing vulnerable families and those who've been queuing for a very long time. Social and affordable homes.
Until we're in that happy, and at your rate of 30,000 a year, if you do achieve 30,000 a year, it's going to be a very, very long time before there are enough houses to go around because of the backlog that we know exists. What I'm saying to you is you're going to persist with a policy that says to people who have waited for many, many years on the housing list, who believe they're entitled to that nice new home or whatever it happens to be. No, you can't have it because there's family from Bangladesh who's got 7 children as opposed to your 2 children. They must have that house.
There are many myths that are peddled on the issue of housing allocation.
That's not a myth. It's happening. By your own admission, we have a problem. A, we don't have enough homes to go around. B, there are all these people who believe they're entitled to homes and can't get them because they think, rightly or wrongly, and rightly in some cases you would acknowledge, other families are taking precedence over them, families of immigrants often. Now, the question is whether you are going to redress that balance. And you're telling me no or yes. I don't know what you're saying.
We're going to redress the balance by building more homes.
No, council houses than we need to house those who need them, who want them. It's going to take an immensely long time to fill that gap. What I'm asking you is, during that interim, if we ever reach that happy state, that nirvana of having enough houses to go around, are you prepared to say we will give priority to those people who have earned the right to have those homes?
The figures you've been quoting are those on social homes. Now, far more homes are going to be built than that. There are going to be new affordable homes.
For families who can't afford even those so-called affordable
And for those
homes.
families, we need to make sure that they are properly housed.
For families who can't afford even those so-called affordable
And for those
homes.
families, we need to make sure that they are properly housed. Local authorities ought to be taking more responsibility for broadly well-being in their local area.
For families who can't afford even those so-called affordable
And for those
homes.
families, we need to make sure that they are properly housed. Putting far more emphasis, actually, on building affordable homes that young couples. A new priority on building affordable homes. We've refurbished now over
For families who can't afford even those so-called affordable
And for those
homes.
families, we need to make sure that they are properly housed.